Now that the IPO is out of the way, the question now becomes, should you buy it with such a lofty valuation? Will the excitement last? Joining me here on set, Chad Anderson, Space Capital Managing Partner, an early SpaceX investor, and Bradley Tusk, founder of Tusk Venture Partners. Guys, great to have you both. I'll start off with you because you believed in the vision early, and I think the question now for investors, for most of the people watching, is, would you buy it today? This is the first crack that they'll have at it. So what do you think?
I am very bullish on the future.
Okay.
It has taken me a bit of time to sort of get my head around what they're planning to do because, like in true SpaceX fashion, this is big. It's bold. It's ambitious. This is, I mean, look, they've got a launch business that is kicking off cash. They've got a Starlink business that's doing the same thing. A lot of people forget that they built a profitable business already in an impossible sector. They were private for the last several years. They've been kicking off so much cash that they've been buying back shares. So why are they going public now? Why are they raising this capital? It's because they see a huge opportunity in front of them. We're at an inflection point, multiple inflection points. And if you just want to start with the big TAM and the AI opportunity, I mean, how much bigger do you think this thing can get? Every boardroom across every business is talking about how much we're spending on AI right now, which means that it's being used in all kinds of ways that no one ever contemplated. SpaceX's play here is to build the infrastructure that it runs on. Who knows exactly where it's going to go? Who knows exactly which application is going to be built? There's going to be a lot of experimentation there. But the sure thing is that they're going to need a lot of compute to run it on. And that's what they're building. So it gives them a lot of option value in the future. And this is their playbook. They've already done this with launch. They've done it with Starlink and comms. And this is the third act.
Bradley, you were on the show maybe a couple weeks ago, and you made it pretty clear that you did not believe that retail investors should be investing at these prices.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's be clear. First of all, today's a really exciting day because in a world that always feels terrible all of the time, it's an incredibly positive thing. It's an incredible vision for humanity. It's like, you know, for those of us here in New York, it's like how the Knicks feel right now. And it's an amazing company. He's the greatest entrepreneur maybe in the history of the world. They've got incredible products. With all of that said, the debate isn't how incredible they are. It's at a $2.1 trillion market cap, does it make sense to buy shares of a company that throws off at the moment, last I checked, about $17 billion a year in revenue? So for some context, it's about 125x multiple on revenue. Alphabet's at 12. Microsoft, I think, is at 11. Apple's about 11. Meta's at like 9. So the other companies in their ballpark, the other companies that have not only have the potential to do incredible things, but have actually delivered on it in a real way, are valued, you know, from a multiple standpoint, at a tenth of what these guys are selling at right now. So to me, unless you believe that SpaceX will have the same trajectory as Tesla, which is the one company that seems totally uncorrelated to any sort of economics or fundamentals or anything else, if you believe that, then it might be a good stock to buy. But to the extent that as an investor, you're thinking about things like revenue, EBITDA, margins, all of that stuff, you know, why you would jump in today, to me, is beyond me.
So, Chad, what makes up for that gap in valuation between some of those companies that Bradley had mentioned that pre-existed SpaceX in the public markets and where SpaceX? Is it completely the space component of the story that gives it that extreme premium over its peers?
So there's a couple things going on here, and people are always trying to put them in a bucket. You know, are they a launch company? Are they a comms company? Are they an AI company? And the answer is yes. They are an infrastructure company in all of these areas. And that gives them a huge advantage over anyone else who's in this space. So valuations are a narrative always about the future. And in this particular case, it's a combination of how big do we think the opportunity is that they're going after. And it is big. I mean, in the Starlink business, they're just getting started. They have 10 million subscribers, growing very quickly. A system that didn't exist 6 years ago, 10 million subscribers today. They haven't even launched their direct-to-sell product that's going to eat into the telco market. So this is massive in its near term, not to mention the AI opportunity. I mean, so they, just in the last 6 weeks, since they confidentially filed their prospectus, they've already brought in, they did $19 billion in revenue last year. They now have $27 billion additional annualized from the Google and Anthropic deals that they're adding to that. So they're already, in the last 6 weeks, doubled the revenue that took them 2 decades to build, right? And that's what I'm talking about here, is that there's multiple inflection points that we're staring down, and we're not talking about 5-10 years from now. Like, these are near-term opportunities, and they're growing into that valuation already very quickly. So there's a TAM question, and then there's a growth and growth rate question, and both of those line up for this company.